Nina makes a split-second decision, and Gio dives in again. Oh, darlings, the summer preview promised us that Drew would make a big splash, and the writers were not being subtle about it. Because what is coming at that Quartermain Lake is going to be one of the most shocking, most impulsive, most genuinely consequential moments this entire storyline has produced. And the person at the center of it is not who most people saw coming. Let us set the scene completely. Scout got Tracy's blessing to use the lake near the boathouse to train for her charity swim. A beautiful cause, raising money in Monica's memory, something that matters to everyone in that family in the most personal way possible. Tracy donated. Brooklyn got on board. And as part of the arrangement, Drew would be brought down to watch. That last detail is the one that changed everything. Because Drew has been building toward something. His recovery has been accelerating in ways that Willow cannot control anymore. He said her name. He has been communicating in fragments. And now, in the preview for this week, Drew is shown doing something that nobody around him fully expected at this particular moment. He is taunting Nina. Not blinking. Not gesturing. Actually speaking. Letting Nina know that he is capable of much more than anyone has been giving him credit for. And that whatever bad news he is about to share is going to land exactly where she does not want it to land. Nina has been walking a tightrope around Drew for months. She has kept his situation contained. She has worked alongside Willow to manage what he knows and prevent him from being able to use it. And now Drew, recovering, speaking, fully aware of the power he holds, is pointing that power directly at her. Something in Nina snaps. The writers told us she gets pushed too far and then pushes too far herself. And in a moment that is equal parts terrified desperation and pure impulse, Nina shoves Drew into the lake. Now, whether Drew is still in his wheelchair or whether his recovery has progressed enough that he is standing when it happens, the outcome is the same. He goes into the water, and Nina, standing there watching, understands immediately that she has done something she cannot take back. Gio hears it. Gio, who has apparently become Port Charles's most reliable emergency responder this summer entirely by virtue of being in the right place at the right time, comes running. He goes in. He pulls Drew out. Again. And now Nina, who has been trying to keep Drew quiet, is standing on the bank of that lake with a rescued Drew, who has even more reason to talk, and an eyewitness who just watched something that does not look like an accident from any angle. Jason comes home to Sunny, and the Rick problem is immediate. Now, darlings, let's talk about the reunion that has always defined the heart of General Hospital in a particular way. Jason and Sunny. Brothers in every way that matters. Two people whose loyalty to each other has been tested by almost everything the city can throw at it and has held. And the reunion coming this week is going to be warm and real and almost immediately complicated. Because Rick is there. Rick, who has moved significantly into Sunny's orbit during Jason's absence. Rick, who has apparently genuinely changed in ways that Sunny has accepted and embraced. Rick, who is now being treated as a trusted ally and a real part of the family rather than someone to be watched carefully. Jason is going to look at all of that and feel something very specific in his gut. Not jealousy. Not territorial anger. The particular unease of someone whose instincts about a person are deeply ingrained and do not respond to assurances about transformation. Jason has history with Rick. Long, complicated, painful history. The kind that does not simply evaporate because time has passed and behavior has apparently improved. And the version of Jason who walked out of Jakarta, quieter, more intentional, stripped down to what actually matters, is not going to be less perceptive about potential danger to the people he loves. If anything, he is going to be more perceptive, because everything that was noise before has been burned away. He is going to tell Sunny, clearly and directly, in the way Jason always tells Sunny things he does not want to hear. He is going to say that he does not trust Rick and that the level of access Sunny has given him concerns him. And Sunny, who has been building something with Rick that feels genuine and important to him, is going to have to decide what to do with Jason's warning. Rick is not going to appreciate being Jason's concern. He has worked hard at whatever transformation he has undergone. He does not want to be relitigated every time Jason Morgan raises an eyebrow. And the dynamic between the three of them, Sunny trying to hold the peace, Jason holding his position, Rick bristling at being distrusted, is going to be one of the more interesting ongoing tensions this fall. Can Rick be trusted? Is the change real? Or is Jason's gut pointing towards something that has not surfaced yet? Port Charles has learned over the years to pay attention when Jason Morgan's gut says something is wrong. Ava finds an ally, and the anti-Sunny alliance takes shape. And now, darlings, we close this week with something that has been quietly building in the background of everything else happening in Port Charles, and is now ready to step into the foreground in a very significant way. Because Ava has had enough. Enough of the tension, enough of the hostility, enough of walking carefully around someone who does not extend her the same courtesy. And Ava, with enough of something, is Ava ready to fight back. Let's be clear about the history here. Ava and Sunny have managed to coexist for years because of Avery. The love they share for their daughter has been the invisible line neither of them fully crossed, the thing that kept their conflict from escalating into something neither could manage. They have tried. They have kept a certain peace. But that peace has always been maintained under pressure, and lately the pressure has been building in ways that are becoming unsustainable. Sunny has been exerting himself across Port Charles with renewed energy now that Sidwell is gone. He is reclaiming territory, reasserting his presence, reminding people who the top player in this city is. And Ava, who has always understood power and who is not someone who accepts being managed from a position of weakness, is feeling the weight of that reassertion in ways she does not like.
She needs an ally.
Someone with their own reasons to check Sunny's expanding influence. Someone with intelligence and resources and a willingness to play a long and complicated game. The spoilers are keeping the specific identity of this ally deliberately vague. But the most logical candidate, and the one that fits both history and current circumstances perfectly, is Valentine. They have aligned against Sunny before. They understand each other in the particular way that two people who are each willing to operate in moral gray zones understand each other. And Valentine has his own very fresh reasons to be irritated with Sunny's interference in his personal life. Sunny sent Brick to get Valentine out of Carly's life. Valentine refused. And a man who refuses to be moved is a man who is going to start thinking about how to ensure the person trying to move him does not get another opportunity. Ava and Valentine forming an alliance against Sunny is the kind of pairing that is enormously entertaining to watch, because both of them are sharp enough to make Sunny genuinely uncomfortable, and both of them are motivated enough to see it through. Ethan is also part of this equation right now. The passion building between him and Ava is real, and the show is not hiding it. But Ethan is heading toward a situation that is going to force him to run. The secret about Phoebe, the real father somewhere on the horizon, the threat approaching that is going to make Port Charles feel unsafe. When Ethan goes, Ava is going to need something else to focus her considerable energy on. And turning that energy toward the most powerful man in Port Charles, with Valentine alongside her, is exactly the kind of focus Ava was built for. Port Charles is rearranging itself this week, darlings. Nina's standing on the bank of a lake having done something she cannot undo. Jason coming home to a best friend who has changed his inner circle in ways that set off every alarm Jason has. And Ava quietly, purposefully, with the particular patience of someone who knows exactly how to wait for the right moment, building the alliance that is going to give Sunny the most interesting problem he has faced since Sidwell walked out of his life.